Hello, boys and girls. We are looking at Inventors in the Kitchen, Part B, Lesson 14.4. Let's go ahead and dive right in. We can say our morning greeting together. I am kind. I am smart. I am loved. I am important. I believe in myself. I can do anything. Our class mission statement is, our mission is to always help others, to try even when it's hard, to be kind to each other, and to be kind to ourselves. For question check-in, let's go ahead and make sure that those listening ears are turned on. Your eyes are on my screen. You can hold up cactus hands for me, show me that you're not holding any toys, pencils, markers, anything that could distract you, and go ahead and wave good morning to each other. You can put your hands down and take a deep breath. Go ahead and let that breath out. Are you going to give this lesson your absolute best? Give me 2 thumbs up. Fantastic. All right, guys, remember we are recording every lesson that we have here so that you can go back and watch the recording again if you need to. And don't forget about our classroom rules. These are our lesson goals for today. I could read the article Inventors in the Kitchen again. I can identify how the information in a text is organized, and I can name problems and solutions, as well as cause and effects in a text. So good morning. In this lesson, you will explore how the writer of an article organizes the information in a text. An author can organize information in an article in a few different ways. A text that organizes information according to the order in which events happen is said to be written in sequence or in order of events. A text that identifies problems and then tells people how to solve them, or problem and solution, is called problem and solution. A text that points out how one thing leads another thing to happen is written to show cause and effect. An author might even choose to organize information in a single article in more than one way. So we could use all 3 of these different ways, right? So for example, some parts of an article might be organized to point out problems and solutions, or others might focus more on sequence of events. All right, guys, let's go over these words to know. Our first word to know is attach. Go ahead and say the word attach. Great job. Attach is to connect or join something to another object, right? So to attach 2 pieces of paper, for instance, I might use a piece of tape, glue, paperclip, or staple. Imagine you were building a birdhouse out of wood. How might you attach 2 of its pieces together? Next word to know is motor. A motor is a machine that uses energy from electricity, gasoline, or another source to make something move or work. Cars, buses, and planes all move because they have motors. Another word for motor is engine, and many people enjoy learning about motors and how they work. Last word to know is rack. A rack is a frame or shelf that is used to hold, hang, or show things. Racks can be made of wood, metal, plastic, or other materials. Go ahead and take a quick brain break. You can pause this recording and press play when you are back in your seats. We are going to start reading today Inventors in the Kitchen. Go ahead and keep your eyes on my screen, listening ears on, and let's go ahead and begin. Inventors in the Kitchen. Look around your kitchen. What do you see? Do you see paper bags? What about a microwave oven? Kitchens are full of clever inventions like these. We use them every day, but they started out as ideas in the minds of inventors. Let's meet some of these inventors and learn how they've changed our lives. Making a better paper bag. In 1850, Margaret Knight made her first invention when she was only 12 years old, but it was not her last one. She kept inventing new and better ways to do things for her whole life. When Margaret was young, paper bags were shaped like the letter V. They did not have flat bottoms. Bags with flat bottoms can hold more. They are easier to set down on the floor or on a table. But making a paper bag with a flat bottom cost a lot of money. People had to do all the work by hand. They had to cut the paper, they had to fold it, they had to glue the bag together. In 1868, Margaret invented a new machine. It made paper bags with flat bottoms. It cut the paper, it folded the paper, it glued the bags together too. Margaret's machine made paper bags better for everyone. Flash frozen. Clarence Birdseye was born in 1886. When he was a young man, he went to northern Canada. The people who lived there were called the Inuit. They caught and ate a lot of fish. In the winter, it got very cold. The fish froze quickly. It stayed good for a long time. When the Inuit cooked it later, it still tasted fresh. Clarence saw how the Inuit froze their food. That gave him an idea. So he came up with his own way to freeze food. He put it in a box, then he froze it very quickly. People could buy the box of frozen food at the grocery store. Clarence called his way of freezing food flash freezing. Flash freezing keeps food very fresh. Today, many stores sell frozen foods, but the food is frozen in factories far away. Then it is taken to stores. How does it stay cold on the way? A chilly drive. Frederick McKinley Jones invented a way to keep food cold on the way to stores. When Frederick was young, all refrigerators had to be plugged in. They could not be moved from place to place. If people wanted to travel with cold food, they packed it with ice. If the ice melted, the food went bad. In the 1930s, Frederick invented a new kind of refrigerator. It had a motor that did not need to be plugged in, so it could be attached to a truck. It could keep food nice and cold during long drives. Thanks to Frederick, trucks can bring frozen foods to supermarkets. Now we can buy frozen foods and enjoy them at home. A new way to cook. Percy Spencer worked for a company that made machines. His job was to improve the machines. He used parts like power tubes. One day, Percy took a bar of chocolate to work. When he stood next to a power tube, the chocolate began to melt. The tube was melting the chocolate. What else could it do? Percy wanted to find out. So he got some popcorn kernels. He put them next to the tube. They began to pop. Percy had discovered that power tubes could cook food. In 1947, he used them to make the first microwave oven. Washing the dishes. When Josephine Cochrane was young, people washed dishes by hand. The dishes bumped each other, they broke. So Josephine designed a machine to wash dishes. The dishes went on racks. The dishes could not move. They could not bump each other or break. The machine shot hot, soapy water at the dishes to clean them. People liked Josephine's dishwasher. In 1893, it won a big prize at the World's Fair in Chicago. Josephine began to sell her machines. She sold them mainly to restaurants, but today there are dishwashers in many homes. New changes. All these inventions changed what happens in our kitchens. They had good ideas, they worked hard, they built new machines, they came up with new ways to do things. Thanks to these inventors, our lives are easier. Refrigerated trucks keep food frozen. The trucks bring the food to the store. We can buy this frozen food. We can carry it home in a paper bag with a flat bottom. We can cook it in a microwave. Then a dishwasher can wash our dirty dishes. What do you think kitchens will be like in the future? What changes will we see? All right, guys, you can pause this recording to take a brain break and then come back to your seats when you are ready. Now, I will check your understanding by asking you a few questions. Let's take a closer look at Inventors in the Kitchen and explore how its writer organizes information and ideas in the text. So remember, authors can organize information and ideas in articles in different ways, and we call these ways to organize information text structure. There are three types of text structure. Okay, we can organize them by sequence of events, problem and solution, or cause and effect. Go ahead and grab something to write on and something to write with. You can pause this recording to grab your materials. When you have your materials, you can press play. Assuming you have your materials, here is my first question for you. When Frederick was young, what did people have to do when they wanted to travel with cold food? A, they had to pack it in water. B, they had to pack it in ice. Or C, they had to pack it on coals. Go ahead, write your answer on your board. You can pause this recording and press play when you are ready to see the correct answer. Learning coaches, I need you to take a picture of one of your students' answer choices for one of the questions I'm going to ask. You can choose which one. You can send it to me on Class Dojo or by email. I wouldn't use texting because we're having trouble with our work phone still. And then I will mark that as your student's credit for watching this recording. All right, guys, the answer was B. They had to pack it in ice. What happened if the ice melted? What was the problem? A, the food would go bad. B, the ice turned to water. Or C, the food stayed good. You can pause this recording, write your answer, and press play when you are ready to continue. The answer is A, the food would go bad. Next question for you guys. How did Frederick McKinley Jones solve this problem? A, he invented a heater. B, he invented a new kind of refrigerator that didn't have to be plugged in. Pause this recording, write your answer choice down, and press play when you are ready to continue. The answer is B, he invented a new kind of refrigerator that didn't have to be plugged in. Next question for you guys. Percy Spencer brought a chocolate bar to work and then stood next to a power tube. What happened as a result? A, his chocolate bar melted. B, his chocolate bar stayed the same. Or C, his chocolate bar froze. Pause this recording, write your answer choice down, and press play when you are ready to continue. The answer is A, his chocolate bar melted. What do we call it when a writer presents information to show how one event leads to another? A, cause and effect, or B, problem and solution? The answer is A, cause and effect. So the power tube was the cause, and the chocolate bar melting was the effect. This part about the power tubes melting Percy's chocolate bar isn't the only place in this section where ideas are organized by cause and effect. All right, let's review what we learned. I read the article Inventors in the Kitchen again. I named problems and solutions as well as causes and effects in a text, and I identified how the information in a text is organized. These are all things that you did in this lesson with me. You may log off, boys and girls, and I will see you next time.